Okay. About to go make some dinner. Beef over rice today. Okay. Good. Good. Well, no, I'm so loud. I'll tell you why I'm so loud. Because at one point, there's a lot of gossip, things that were said. A lot of lies. A lot. And very quiet about it. Very quiet about it. It was just like, God will vindicate. And I'm talking about lies where it's like on some she ain't got no food. She don't clean. She don't take care of herself. She don't take care of her kids. She don't nothing, right? Talking about a lot. My dreads are getting so long. It's crazy. They're getting so long. Suckers is boom. I remember when them shits is them suckers is like here. Okay, when I first started, I had cut it down to not like literally. I had cut it super short. I'm talking about like almost pixie short. And then they grew out. And then I put them into dreads. 2-hand twist. And now them suckers is by my chin. The longest is like right here. Whoop. Right here. They like come up like right here. It's like, you're growing so much. Anyway, there's been a lot of talk over the past couple of years. If you noticed, a lot of things were being said. A few of them that still is like surfacing. Because you know, dark skin girls, we can't be educated. At one point it was this chick didn't even graduate high school, right? Let alone go to college. I didn't even the so-called don't even have a diploma. And I was like, what? That's ludicrous. So a lot of people, they be on some. You sit back and you're quiet. And what I noticed is I've said a lot of audio. Because I used to never be on camera. Never. A lot of audio. She would steal the audio. So she would pretend it was her speaking and it was me. It kind of sucks to have done a few things, right? I'm not saying that they're like the most best and shiniest things ever. Anyone can open up a nonprofit. They really can. It's not that hard to open up a nonprofit. And she took that. For years, she took it. People did not believe me at all when I was just like, yeah, like I own a nonprofit. It was just like, you don't own a nonprofit. You don't even have your diploma. It was just like, what? You know how many jobs require that you need a diploma in order for you to work? I don't know how people are getting around the system, but you need at least a high school equivalency in order for you to at least have gotten a job. Let alone anything else. A lot of people, hold on. I gotta buy another thing of rice. I like to have stockpiles. Because even though it may look like it's a lot, you're like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. You have X, Y, and Z. Who said that you ain't got no food? You obviously have food. There was many a times when people said I didn't have no damn food. My kid was starving. Okay? And then that gets debunked. And the reason why it gets debunked is because there were times where I was, well, that's not right. And God would be like, let me handle it. Right? You just keep working on yourself. Working on to the point where it's just like you have a whole system of what to shop for, budgeting, what to buy, you know, what to stock up on, work on filling up a deep freezer before you start working up on a second deep freezer, right? Because there's going to come a time where those things are going to be shown, and it's going to negate the things that were said before. And people that have been around for the past couple of years that have heard these rumors, right, have heard these things from the beginning, are going to be like, I remember when, yeah, they were saying that she didn't do X, Y, and Z. They were saying that she didn't have this. They were saying all this. Turns out it's a lie. And it goes down to even something as small and minute as food in the fridge, right? As petty as that sounds, food in the fridge. People lie about all kind of stuff. It's really wild because even the stuff that I have right now, let's say, I don't know, high school diploma, right? Or the fact that if you even go to school. I was going through, I have a big leather like bag, like duffel bag, and it has a lot of papers in it, a lot of books in it. And you know, I was pretty much like tidying up underneath my bed, and I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot about this damn thing. I opened it, and I was showing my son, and I was just like, I have my diploma and your father's diploma in here. Like, and I have to give it to him. And I just chuckled a little bit inside because it was just like, I remember at one point people were saying, and they're still saying, this person doesn't have a diploma. I was just like, what? And I was just like, it's right here. And then all my college books, like, oh, you know, you have to write notes when you're in school. I'm going through all my college papers and all my things, my freaking Scantron sheets and shit. And it was just like, it's just so wild how someone could sit here, because a lie could be there for a long time. And yes, there is a such thing as silence. There's a time for silence and there's a time for speaking. I have been silent, and sometimes God will nudge you and say, speak, my child. Whether it's loud, whether it's silent, both are forms of communication, right? So most people think that communication is speaking. Communication, majority of communication, is body language, right? Body language. It's 70%. 20% is, I think it's tone. 10% is literally just like the words that you're saying. So communication comes in many forms. When God communicates and shows something, sometimes it could be, you left this paper out and the person didn't account for that, and everybody gets to see this paper that literally rebukes and rebuttals everything that was said, right? Piece of evidential, piece of whatever, right? Sometimes that is, you need to talk, and you need to talk right now, okay? You need to go to Pharaoh and you need to say, let my people go. I'm pretty sure Moses had to say that shit with his chest, okay? He wasn't, oh, can you please let my people go? He was, you need to let my people go. He said it loud and proud, okay? There's a time for quiet, and there's a time for speaking. There are many times where you will see me silent, won't say a damn thing. I just observe. And then there are times where you better talk, and you better talk loud. You better talk. But if you don't talk, you're going the thing I'm trying to do, you're going to miss it. So it's just obedience to that, right? Unfortunately, even when you do talk, some people will take it as, well, you're just mad. No, we're in court right now. Okay, this is the world when Jesus, what it said, the devil is your accuser, right? Jesus pretty much is the person that speaks on behalf of you to God and say this person belongs in the kingdom. Okay, so when Jesus speaks, he speaks. Note that. The issue is with this. Sometimes the truth be loud and it be right in front of your face and you still don't see it. Sometimes it happens. It happens a lot of times, actually. And often than not, whether the truth is loud or as silent as a whisper, the truth is the truth. It's up to you to have the discernment to be able to understand that there's something don't add up. Because at one point they were saying this, and now all of a sudden it's this. How come everything always keeps evolving, right? This whole gossip thing just keeps evolving. Where it's just like, well, they have no food in their fridge. Well, they do have food in their fridge, but they just don't eat it. Stuff like that. And it's just like, how does the lie evolve, right? So then how is the diploma, right, going to evolve, right? Well, she does have a high school diploma, but she never went to college. Well, she did go to college, but blah, 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 blah. So what is it, right? Because the truth is the truth. Truth is the truth, honey. A lie is a lie. A lie has to be convincing. So even if it has to be, I'm going to be quiet about this. Because, you know, quiet is confidence. Yes, quiet can be confidence. And also it's saying it with your chest. You need to have discernment to be able to know how to do both. And when to do both. That's the key. Because nowhere in the Bible did God say, don't say nothing and let me handle it all the fucking way. When God says to say something, he's going to tell you to go move. When he tells you to be still and let him handle it, that's when he handles it. You need to decipher when is when and what is what, and have your key ear to God. Because if you don't, and I've done that many a times, where I've jumped the gun and it was used against me. Used against me. Okay? And there were times where it was just like, God was just like, I'm telling you to speak and you're not speaking. Why are you afraid? Being on some Moses, okay? It's a stutter, right? And God's just like, no, I need you to strike this rock right now. Do it right now. If you don't do it, it's going to overflow. If you don't do it, the stuff I need you to do at this particular place and time, I need you to do it. Because with the whole goal is not to, it's not just to be on some, well, the truth is the truth. The whole goal is to try to get Pharaoh to give his heart to God, right? Do the right thing. Pharaoh didn't want to do that. So, at one point in time, when God sees that, it's a moment of grace. It's a moment of silence. It's a moment of chill, right? And sometimes our words can cut, right? It can. But it's giving your Pharaoh the time to go to God, right? What did Pharaoh do? Pharaoh kept hardening his heart. And at one point, Jesus was like, you keep hardening your heart, now I'm going to harden it for you. I'm going to harden it all the way. Okay? Because what comes next is the demise. And that's the whole thing that God doesn't want. God doesn't want people's demise. But if it's a necessary thing, then it's a necessary thing. If you don't want to turn from your ways, you want to keep lying and lying and lying, then they ain't reprobated mind. Reprobated mind. And it's going to be no one's fault but your own. God will harden people's hearts. And that's what you don't want. But however God does it, whether God says be still or God says strike the rock, you just got to do your part. Okay? God puts on your spirit, speak up, say something, and you say something. If people, however people take it, that's however people take it. Right? Some people will be like, oh, you're talking, this person's angry. Not angry. This is the proof, right? This is your evidence. This is the evidence. I'm gonna say it loud. It's right here. Instead of looking at the evidence, they say, well, your tone. You're not looking at the right thing. The evidence you're looking at. Well, she did it this way, so I'm going to ignore the fact that this is the evidence, but I'm going to say, well, how she said it was not to my liking. Truth is the truth. Whether it's the naked truth, the ugly truth, however you want to say it, it's the truth. That's the whole thing. It's the truth. So if you don't like the messenger, because Pharaoh didn't like the messenger. Moses' story started from when he was in the womb, trying to kill him off quick. They didn't like him because they know what happens if Moses actually succeeds. All them people being free. People that be gossiped about, lied on, kids that get bullied. It's the same dynamic. These little kids be in school gossiping like it ain't nothing. Gossiping. Okay? And the only thing that happens is that they get older and they just gossip some more. Right? So it's just like, people don't like and gossiping. I'm sorry, but gossiping in my eyes, you're a bully. You're a bully. You're a cowardly bully, because instead of you saying, I have a problem with X, Y, and Z, what you'll do is that you'll indirect and blah, blah. That's not cool. You don't like it when it's done to a child. So how come it's okay when you're an adult? Nip that shit in the bud. I'm a big advocate for anti-bullying. Okay? You a bully. You a bully. You throw your hand and then you get mad when somebody reacts. Right? It takes a lot of self-governance to be still. And I had to go through that whole being still. God will handle it. Simmer down. Simmer down. Let God handle it. Right? Until it was time to, you need to do that podcast. God, I don't know what to say. No one's gonna listen to it. Do the podcast. Say what I told you to say. And I did it. Guess what happened? Them same words because I don't go on camera. For a long time. I just now started going on camera. All those times I wasn't on camera, just take it, copy and paste it. It's mine, right? Or it's theirs. So who's Jesus? Jesus is up there. I'm not Jesus. But I damn sure am being open to be used if God pushes me to do so. That's for sure. That's what everyone's birthright is, to be used by God. It is not, and that's however it looks like. It may not be talking. It may be, I need you to work this job and do your very best at this job because you're going to change the world doing this job. It could be something as, you scrub tables every day. It can be you're a painter. It can be you're an accountant. It can be you're a teacher. You're going to change that one person's life, right? Say a teacher. You're going to change that one kid's life. That's not going to become the next president. But he needs you to be obedient, right? So however God uses you, that's however God uses you. God decided to use me as, you're going to say this podcast. And then you're going to be quiet for a few years. And have every single slanderous and lying thing onto you. And you're going to go through stress because of that. Stress. Imagine being lied on. I'm talking about some catastrophic type lie. Couple of lies. To the point where it literally was affecting your finances, social life, this and that. And on top of that, I'm going to make you sick. I'm going to make you sick. Can't even be around people. People don't even want to be around you. It's getting hot in here. Okay? So even if somebody was curious, that's going to deter them from even ever speaking to you anyway. And at one point I was like, this is Job. This is a Job moment in my life. Because wow. Boom, 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 boom. Most people, I remember at one point people were saying, well, if you go through so much that, you know, maybe you're far from God. And at one point you question it too. Shoot, am I far from God? Does God not love me? And then you come to find out, open up that Bible, and it's fucked up because when you open up that Bible and the fucking chapter that you open up to is Job. And you like, seriously? Job went through hell. Why is this my walk? But the end of Job, faint not. Faint not. Keep running your race. Okay? You need to be a part of the remnant. Because the reward is everlasting life. You're going to get the crown. You know how hard it is to endure, especially when everyone's throwing tomatoes at you because they believe something that's not even true. It's one of the hardest things. It's really hard to keep quiet about that. And if you have to keep quiet about that, you have to be obedient. Do you know how good it feels when God says, speak? I'm screaming, okay? I am screaming. Okay? Let's set the record straight. Whether that is, you're going to show your face on camera. And you're going to speak now. Instead of it being behind the scenes. Right? The one thing you were so afraid of. They'd be like, people are not going to receive me. I look stressed out as hell. I look old now. I'm tired, you know. Stressed. Speak. Speak in front of that camera. It took a long time to do that. It took a long time. Because what happens? You want to please the world, right? I gotta look appealing so the world likes me. Gosh, it's like, I didn't tell you to do all that. I told you to speak. So you're gonna speak. Okay? People need to know at this point now. And sometimes I don't say anything at all. Sometimes you will not get a video. Sometimes you will not get audio. Sometimes I will not make a voice memo at all. And sometimes you will. Like hence today. You will. That one part I was just like, fuck it. I'm just going to leave this shit alone. No, you're going to talk. You're going to talk right now. You're going to talk. I don't want to talk, God. I just want to make dinner. Get my son to do his math homework. He's tired. Because he was sneaking on the phone last night. 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I caught him on the phone. Doom scrolling. And now he's sleepy. He's tired. He's sleeping right now. He's not doing his homework for the life ahead, guys. So, these pots. This pot's been through hell. These pots been cooked on and cooked on and cooked on, honey. I say making meals and meals. That's another thing. That's like I said hence before. So who's not cooking? Who don't got no food? Who don't? Nothing? A lot of lies been said. And I'm pretty sure there's so much more lies that have been said. Lord knows all the gossip that has actually went around. Only the things that I've heard that it's just like, sis, it's bad. It's bad. If you hear all of it, it's bad. I'm like, I'm sure it is. You're just going ham. But usually, sometimes that's a reflection of self. Somebody lies. Usually it's on some shit that they guilty of doing. Unfortunate. Or maybe not. Maybe they just making it up. I don't know. At this point, all I know is that I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to do what God told my little ass to go fucking do. And that's it. Whether that's to be quiet, don't say nothing, or it's to talk, or it's to say that shit loud with your chest. Whether you like the delivery or not, it's up to you. But sometimes conviction don't feel nice. There's a thing called church hurt. I know people have heard this term before. You go into a church, you hear the sermon, and then the sermon starts talking about you. And sometimes the sermon preacher will say something that it just rub a sore spot real quick on you. And then what ends up happening, you start bashing the preacher. So you need to pray for your preachers. Because sometimes what they're saying, you don't like. And what you gonna say? the preacher's miserable. No, he just probably had a issue with what they said. In all honesty, you had an issue with the conviction, because sometimes that's what the word does. A lot of times that's what the word does. When Jesus was preaching, it wasn't on some kumbaya like, yo, everybody, you know, everything is love, and God came with a sword. Okay, get your shit together, cause the kingdom is near. I can't say it verbatim, right? But she can't even say it verbatim. But at least I know the logistics of it. Okay? I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. But I will be obedient when God tells me to be fucking obedient. That's one thing for sure. It may not come out the most classiest way, and sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Sometimes I'll be on my, you know, scholarly, ambiguous, and superfluous, and innate, and all those beautiful words. Okay? It's poetic. It's flowery speech. I love flowery speech. Hence, I love Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is nothing but a poet, if you really think about it. I was listening to Mortal Man last night, and I've heard it many a time when I play the record, but I really sat down and was just like, listen to it. And it's so true. Because when things hit the fan, right? Because it could be easily equated to Job's walk. When shit hits the fan, is your wife going to tell you to curse God? Is your friends going to sit here and be your friends? Or is everybody going to leave you? Because God let Satan have his way within limitations, but he did let him have his way. And a lot of people were second guessing. You sure you follow God? Because only blessed people get all these beautiful things, right? How you go from this and then you go from that? Sometimes it's on some, God wants to boast about you. He wants to say, I'm so proud of Job. I picked the right one. Oh, honey, you picked the right one for this. Okay? Because Job was never left God. Job was probably on some, why is this happening to me? Woe is my life. He went through a very depressive state. Because that's the human condition. You go through something very heavy, I'm talking about loss. I think you will be on some, woe is me, depressive state. It's only natural. But he never left God. He never went to the devil and was like, why am I going through this? He always went to God. You know how proud God was of Job? Like, you giving him hell and he's still coming to me. That's my boy. Okay? He'll never leave you nor he'll forsake you. That's one thing I have vowed to God. I'll always try. I will always try. Despite what it looks like, what I look like, what it feels like, what I smell like, what doesn't matter. I'm consistently always going to go back to God and be like, I can't do it. I'm tired. I can't keep being lied on. Be still. Because at one point, be still. I'm looking like God, like he wild crazy. Be still. Nigga, I'm talking, what? Be still. There's going to be a time to speak. There's going to be a time to be quiet. You need to learn how to be quiet. And I did. And it was the hardest thing to fucking do. And now, you need to speak. I'm kind of used to being quiet, God. I don't think I want to speak. Nah, you need to speak. And you need to speak and you need to be uncomfortable. You think speaking on camera is super comfortable for me? I don't have my lashes and hair and makeup on. I look frugally. I look crazy. Crazy. You think I'm not conscious of that? You need to speak. I don't want to speak, Lord. I want to be behind the scenes. Because no one can see this. Nah. They need to see it. Because people are deeming what beauty really looks like and what ugliness looks like. And the whole message that you've been saying this whole entire time is, it's not about what somebody look like, it's their character. And now, yes, speaking up, because me even being on camera is speaking loudly. It's speaking loudly. Without even opening up my mouth. It's speaking super loud. I don't always want to even speak loudly. There's sometimes where it's just like, you want to do it the flesh way, right? I really wish I could freaking, let's prove it right now. That's flesh way, right? God wants you to do it his way. And sometimes doing it his way is uncomfortable. And sometimes it's frustrating. Because it's like, I want to say it this way. Nah, you gonna not say nothing, or you gonna do it the way I told you to do it. Okay, God. I ain't got no choice. That's the way I see it. That's the way I take it. I don't have a choice. Because I see myself as a child to God. I don't have a choice. If the parent says I gotta do this, clean your room, I gotta clean my fucking room. I don't feel like cleaning my room, but I have to fucking do it. Go on this camera and you're gonna fucking talk. I don't want to do that. People are going to be like, look at her mouth. Look at her wrinkles. Her eyes are so crazy. Blah, 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 blah. Her hair is undone. Do it anyway. I don't want to do it. God, do you like being made fun of? Jesus was made fun of. He's made fun of worse. You'll be alright. And Jesus just like, I know. I still love you. And you're just like, why? I'm suffering. Jesus suffered worse. But you mad because somebody called you ugly? You fine. You fine. Because somebody needs to hear this. And you just like, alright, fine, fuck it, whatever. Somebody needs to hear it. It's not about me. That's when it really gets down to it. That's when you really be humbled. It's not about you, bitch. It has nothing to do with you. It's something greater than this. So even if you gotta be in the fire, you will not be consumed by the fire. You'll see soot and all that, but not even soot. I tell you this, it's for a reason. It's for a reason why somebody is quiet. It's the reason why I'm quiet. Because sometimes it's grace given to the person. Grace is given to Pharaoh. Okay? Because I'm pretty sure Moses ain't go to the Pharaoh every single day on some let my people go. He only went but so many times when God told him to go. And Moses didn't even want to go. Because what ends up happening is that Pharaoh also needs grace. He needs time too. Are you going to do the right thing without influence? Because God is a what? A gentleman. He doesn't take a hand and say you're going to do the right thing. He gives you the choice. You have free will. So yeah, Moses is not going to be on some, can you please stop blah blah blah? Because I'm pretty sure after considerable, come on, you're going to be like, okay, fine, fuck it. Let's give whatever he needs to give. But it's not coming genuinely at the heart of Pharaoh. Pharaoh didn't want to do it. So guess what? Pharaoh didn't do it. So it's grace. Are you going to do the right thing? Because when I harden your heart, you're going to go through such a demise that you have no idea. You don't even know how bad it's going to be for you. So there has to be some kind of form of grace given to Pharaoh. Sometimes you need to be quiet so you give Pharaoh the chance that you had those chances. You had those chances. You had the chance to say the truth. You had the chance to do the right thing. You didn't want to do that. So now this is the consequence. Sometimes you have to be quiet. Because it could have been, sometimes if somebody lies on your name and do stuff like that, more chances than not, they've done it before to other people. They've been doing it for a long time. Okay? I'm about to say, I know I need a retwist, but just trying to figure this shit out. Anyway, sometimes you gotta give them that space. You want to do what you're supposed to do, or you not? Yeah. Start seasoning up this freaking food. I didn't want ground beef tonight. I didn't want it. But my son wants it. And he eats it for school. This is like one of the only dishes that he'll eat. Cold or not. Cold or not. He broke his canister. So now he's stuck eating colder lunches. So now all he has is this. Because I can make chicken cutlet and all that stuff for him, but chicken cutlet, it gets soggy and he doesn't want it, you know? I understand that. So I need to get some more black pepper. That sucker's right in my Amazon cart. Not everything I get from BJ's. Because BJ's gonna give you like a gallon of fucking black pepper. I have no space. I have no space for no gallon of everything. So really, I'll get the little stuff. Okay. But yeah, something to think about. Sometimes a person's not loud every single day. You gotta notice that pattern. Are they loud every single day? Are they quiet some days? And when they do speak, what are they saying? Because that is the glory of the truth. The truth could be silent as hell, and the truth can also be loud as fuck. It could be like, and so what? I said what I said. When you have to watch a sermon, trust and believe it. The pastor doesn't have to say I said what I said, but he's convicting you, and that through that conviction is I said what I said. It's the truth. You had to hear it. I'm sorry that it's offending you, but who's going to save your soul if you don't pay attention to your own soul? I'm saying this because I care about you. It's not for me, it's for you. So, that's what it comes down to. People don't do things for other people. You think I want attention? Hell no. Hell no. I'm very much introverted. Okay? I like intimate conversations. I don't like to be broadcasted all like to masses. No. Never. Not never. You never catch me doing that shit. Okay? I don't like fame. Fame is for people that like to chase that shit, not me. I don't have any more Sazone. That shit is wild. Where all my Sazone at? Guys, I ain't got no more goddamn Sazone. Ain't that a bitch? No Sazone. Anyway. Be blessed. You guys have an amazing night. Don't bother nobody. Don't believe no deep fake. Crazy. Okay? You know what's funny? It's probably a deep fake of me speaking right now. And it looked like somebody completely different. I'm like, no, it's a black chick with fucking dreads. It's what it is. I need something. I need that Sazone. Right, that's one thing my son said. He said, you could cook. You may not look like much, but your ass be cooking. And I'll be like, I learned from many grandmas around the world. Okay? I'm about to put some Eppies up in here. But he's probably gonna taste it and not want it. So my son's very particular when it comes to his beef and rice, his fried rice. He wants things to be a particular way. So I'm not gonna mess with it too much. But anyway, be blessed. Have a good dinner. Kids, do your homework. Do your homework. Do not give your parents a hard damn time, okay? Pay attention in school. This way you know how to do the homework. Okay? Amen, someone. Amen, parents. Pay attention in class the first time. This way homework won't be so hard when you get home. Go to sleep when your parents tell you to go to sleep. Don't be sneaking up on the phone in the middle of the night. Your parents got to catch you scrolling on the YouTubes and the TikToks and all of that, all the stuff that y'all like to be on. Okay? So you pay your own bills. That's when you could do that. Until then, you go to bed when your parents tell you to go to bed. Just like the Heavenly Father tell you to be obedient, you need to be obedient. Perfect. You blessed. I'm going to enjoy this dinner.